Hi everyone! Today I want to share some cards I made with the Sugarplum Dreams stamp set. This is a nutcracker themed stamp set and it's really fun for Christmas. My daughter is in ballet and I think this will be a really great stamp set to make a card for her ballet instructors, and I think she'll think it's really fun. This year in the nutcracker she's playing a mouse. So the Mouse King is great for that card. And I love the nutcracker in the tree as well. It's a really pretty stamp set, and I've made two samples with it so far. I made the Mouse King, and then I made the Ballerina. My daughter wanted me to use these two stamp sets right away. Okay, so I want to show you how to put this card together, and we're going to do another one of the Ballerina because I think it will be great to give to her ballet instructor, and so I need a few of these. I've made it to look like a snow globe because I just think it's really a sweet image, and my daughter has a snow globe ballerina on her nightstand, so it just reminded me of home, and I really thought that it was cute. And I'm going to show you how to put together this little base and the whole card. So I started with a base of pink pirouette, and I have a card base, and then I have an extra panel for the top that's 1/4 of an inch smaller on all sides, so it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have another piece the same side in Whisper White for the inside of the card. I'll show you what I did there. We need some circle dies. So I'm using one that's about 2 3/4. You can, if depending on what you have, you can maybe do 3 inches. It can go a little bigger. I wouldn't do too much bigger, so then it doesn't really quite fit the base very well. But the first thing you need to do is cut that circle out of your front panel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there's my opening, and then I ran it through the Big Shot again, this time with the gently falling, or is it softly falling? I'll look that up. Embossing folder, which is really fun. It's got the tiny little, could be bubbles if you do it this way, it could be rising bubbles of champagne. Here I've got them falling like snow. And little circle, little dots. Really pretty embossing folder. So I'm going to run this through, and I'm going to put the heavier circles towards the top. So I want mine to be away from the seam. And I'm going to run it through the Big Shot this way. And if you were making a card where you wanted maybe a New Year's card, you want champagne bubbles rising, go this way. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through the Big Shot. Okay, so I've got that run through. Now, to make the inside where the ballerina is, I've cut a little piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp some of these little sparkles. This comes with the stamp set. It's a nice little background piece. It's this one right here. And I used Soft Sky. While I'm stamping that, I want to ask you a question. I usually do my Big Shot cutting off camera, and I'm wondering what you think about that, because I feel like it just takes up time in the video to show you that step, and most of us all know how to use the Big Shot, and there are even videos specifically showing how to cut with the Big Shot. So if you were here to look at how to, how to use the Big Shot, then of course I would definitely want to show you that. But if it's more about the card, then I don't want to take your time up showing you the Big Shot. So it's kind of a catch-22, which do I do? And so I want to ask you if you think that it's better if I show that Big Shot step on camera or off camera. I would like to know, because I would like to do what you think is best. So let me know in the comments if you think I should show that or not, or if you'd like me to condense it. Okay, now I also already did the ballerina. What I did the other day is I stamped a ton of images from this stamp set because I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of it, so I just went and stamped a whole sheet of all these various images, and I started coloring them with my new stamping blends because I was just having so much fun coloring. So this is already colored, and again, if you want me to show the coloring step, I could do that too. I'm going to go ahead and just adhere her and not show you the coloring today, but also let me know what you think about that. I do have videos on coloring, and sometimes I'll make specific ones that talk about how to color with the blends or with the watercolor pencils or aqua painters, and I love making videos about that as well. But I was just trying to decide if sometimes it's good to make a shorter video about a card that people can just look at real quick and copy without getting into all the details. So that's why I did that today. Okay, so this ballerina is just going to go right there. But first, I used my Wink of Stella pen, and I wonder if you can see it in video. I'm not sure if you can, but these little sparkles have added some Wink of Stella to them, so they do shine, kind of to match this glimmer paper snowflake. And it looks good in person. I don't know if it translates well on the video, but I'm going to show you what I did. I just colored in some of these little random little sparkles with the Wink of Stella pen. And I'm going to let that sit for a second. Okay, now I'm going to stamp the inside of my card while that dries. And here I'm using the pine bough. It's all from the same stamp set. I like to use one stamp set a lot because I want to really show that one stamp set can do so much. And then I colored these in, and I'm going to speed up the video while I color, and again, let me know what you think about that. Okay, now we're putting it all together. So, on the inside, I'm going to place my card insert with the greeting on it. Now for this part, I want the snow globe. Okay, I'm not happy with my sparkle here. Let's see if I can cover it. Well, I really can't. I'm going to redo this piece. So I'm going to put the piece of Whisper White right behind the opening. Let's see where I want that to fall. I think I like it this way. And then I'm going to use a window sheet. I wanted to have that shiny glass appearance of the snow globe, so I'm going to use a window sheet on the back of this piece. And I just cut a little 3 1/4 inch square. And then I use dimensionals to kind of pop it up a little bit off the base. I think that adds a nice touch. Oops, I almost forgot to put the ballerina in there. You kind of want to know where she's going to be, so I use a glue dot so that I can kind of reposition her if I need to. So I kind of hold her in place a little bit as I stick this down. Okay, now let me show you how I made that base. I used a piece of the wood grain, I think it's called Wood Textures Designer Series paper. It's a whole pack of paper that looks like wood. It's really fun. Love it. It's 6x6 stack of paper. And I went ahead and used this new label punch, and I really like this label punch. It's called the Everyday Labels, and it's in the holiday catalog. It's a new punch. And I went in and I placed the paper just at the end of this rounded part. So I kind of put it in here. You know, I'm trying to use a scrap because I like to use up my scraps, but sometimes it's difficult. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there to hold it. That's so much easier. Okay, so I place it just at the end where it gets round and punch that out. And now I have a nice little base for my snow globe. It looks like turned wood. Another thing you can do is forget the round part entirely. So this would be a nice little base too for something smaller, like a little smaller snow globe. I thought this was heftier, so I wanted to use that. And then I used this new sheer ribbon that's in the annual catalog in Whisper White. It's really quite thin. Actually, it's like 1/8 of an inch. And I went ahead and adhered some to the base of the snow globe, and I just kind of attached it on the back. There, just to make my life easier. and then just stuck it down right here at the base of the ballerina. And then I made a little bow with the same ribbon, and I wanted it to be a little bit thick, so I'm doubling it. So I kind of gave myself a loop. All right, now I'm just going to kind of play with it and fluff it up a little bit, separate the loops. And I'm going to stick that right there. And I used some glue dots for that. Okay, and then right over the top, I cut out a pretty little snowflake out of the Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer paper. And this is actually a die from Seasonal Friends. And I think it's cute. It's a nice little snowflake. It's a good size. And I put that right on the top. Now, because this is fabric, I just wanted to just get some a good gob of glue right there. And I stuck it down. And I like to put a block on top. I don't know why, but I do. Just for a little bit, just for a tiny moment to let it set. And while that was happening, I grabbed some of these clear faceted gems. These are really fun. And if you have gotten a chance to get the new Stampin' Blends, you can actually color your gems with the Stampin' Blends because they're an alcohol-based marker, not a water-based. So you can add some color and not worry that it's going to just rub off. I added just the slightest bit of pink to this faceted gem. You can barely see it. It's just a little bit there, and it kind of shows against. I don't know if you can see it as well on video, but it is really pretty, and it just adds that really little touch of pink. You can see it better on this one where I used Cherry Cobbler. Now you want to be careful when using your Stampin' Blends on the faceted gems because you don't want to ruin that brush tip. So what you don't want to do is take the brush tip and go back and forth like this because there are lots of little edges on here and you don't want that to fray. So I went on the side and just pressed. Or you can take the nub tip, which is this other side, which is a little heftier, and press. But you don't want to do that whole back and forth thing on these. You don't want to ruin that tip. So I am just pressing the pink onto it. And then I use my scissors to kind of grab it and stick it right in the center. And we're done. So there is my little Sugarplum ballerina. And that is a really pretty Christmas card. Here is the Mouse King inside. I hope you like it and you'll give it a go. I think that you'll really love this embossing folder and this new label punch. So take a look at those new items. I'll have all these items highlighted on my blog, bethspapercuts.com, and you can see all the products that I used to make this card. And also you can shop. You can click right from the supply list. So please stop by my blog, bethspapercuts.com, and check out some future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.